everyone. Today we wanted to go ahead and give a review on Alien Covenant. We saw it yesterday and we were very impressed by it.
Very impressed.
We just wanted to give a review, and toward the end we're going to kind of do like a spoiler section because we wanted to actually talk about some of the awesome things that we saw that were included in the film. So if you haven't seen it, you can definitely watch the first part of this video, but when we say spoiler alert, you definitely should leave because I do not like ruining movies for people. It's like against my code.
Yeah.
So,
and if you haven't seen it yet, what the heck, man? Opening night. Go watch it.
Yeah,
we
opening
didn't
weekend.
watch it. We didn't watch it opening weekend. Well, opening night.
Yeah, we watched it opening weekend, but yeah, we were really busy on opening night.
Yeah, we were.
So Alien Covenant. It was basically, it followed a cruise journey to find a place to colonize because, you know, we need a new place besides Earth to live.
Yeah, we screwed that one up, so we need to find another planet to screw up.
Which is, I mean, it's something that we've always kind of feared as a race, especially now because we know of all the different things that are going on with global warming and everything and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. But it just kind of fits with the kinds of themes that we're having now in real life, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah.
So basically this follows a crew on a colonization mission. This crew happens to be 10 years after Prometheus.
Yes.
So if you're going into this film, do know that you really need to be watching Prometheus beforehand. I know that there were quite a few people that were in that theater that did not know what was going on because they had not followed the whole universe of that. Anyway, yeah, definitely need to watch Prometheus because this movie takes place 10 years after the events that happened in that movie.
Yes.
So
basically, they had a ship full of embryos and were they in hypersleep?
The people. Yeah,
they were in hypersleep, and they're basically trying to chart out a course and go find a planet to inhabit. They come across
an interesting planet,
a different planet that's totally off course, totally not part of their trip. But it
looks like it could be a good place to be.
Yeah.
So the movie we really enjoyed because we were able to follow all of the specific storylines that were set up in all of the other movies.
Yes.
And this movie is a sequel and a prequel at the same time. Which is awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome bit of writing. Now, I know that there have been mixed reviews on this movie because people didn't like the storyline of this movie, but I feel like it goes very well within the series as its place. It's a pretty good movie in the placement of the Alien Prometheus set of films.
Yes.
But yeah, I know that there are some people that haven't liked it, which I feel sorry for those people.
Yeah, in anything, you're never really going to ever be able to please everybody. I don't consider myself a diehard Aliens fan, but
we're up there, though.
I'm up there. I mean, I don't have tons of Alien stuff. I did when I was a kid. I had tons of toys. I wish I still had those toys.
Oh.
But, I love the movies. I watched the movies when I was a kid. You know, it's probably something that a kid shouldn't be watching when they're that young. But, you know, my dad was cool, and he basically would put on Aliens, and we'd chill there and watch it. And I've never been scared of it. I've always loved it. You know, ever since I was little, I've always wanted to see more of the alien world. I wanted to know more about the world that the alien and these people inhabit, you know, and how they got to the situation, you know, they're in 1 and 2.
Yeah.
So I feel like this movie really sheds a lot of light on a lot of that.
It definitely feels like it comes full circle.
Yeah.
Which is a really cool thing, and a lot of people might not be able to have been able to follow that if they hadn't been watching all of it. So I definitely recommend, if you're going to go watch this, you definitely need to see like all of the films, like all of them. We are really big fans. I watched it the first time ever because I had the opposite upbringing as a child. I wasn't allowed to watch very many things, so that's why I've gone like totally crazy, and I'm a big horror fan. We watched it. I watched it together first time, like probably 10 years ago when we got together.
Wait, so, you hadn't seen it until me?
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, awesome. And I think what I did was I just went all out and I'm like, let's just buy the quadrilogy and let's just do this. We had Michael Fassbender back for his android character, which was awesome. He always does a really good job. I don't know though. I think I might have enjoyed him a little more in the other movie, Prometheus. I don't know. And we had Danny McBride.
I loved him in there.
Which he was a really nice character.
Yeah.
So even though we had actors in this movie that were known, it didn't take away from the film. Not really. So it didn't pull you out. It wasn't like, oh, they're too recognizable.
Oh, look, there's Tom Cruise saving the world again, you know?
Yeah,
it wasn't like that. I love Tom Cruise.
We were able to like just watch the movie and be in it and be immersed in it.
When I watched anything Ridley Scott, and especially the Aliens movies, I really feel like the characters are genuine. I believe that they're out there doing what they're doing, and I believe that they're inhabiting. They're like right now. I feel like they're out there looking for worlds. You know, the characters are really believable. So that's really nice.
Yeah, and like we were saying, even though there were some known actors in this movie, it didn't take away from the film. Anyway, special effects was awesome throughout the whole film.
Yeah, well, you kind of wished the alien was a little more practical, right?
Oh yeah, but that's just me. I love the practical effects where you have like a more of the puppetry, more of the actual creature running around versus CGI. CGI is awesome, don't get me wrong. And then everything in this film looked awesome, but it's just I love the look of the original alien and how it moved and how it just seemed more realistic because it was actually there in the shot. Yeah, so that's just my personal preference. I loved the even though I loved the movie, I love the CGI too. It was really good, all of it.
The CGI in this movie was, to me, top notch, and they did a really good job of pulling off that alien look. And I'm on the other side of the spectrum where I actually kind of like. I like CGI when it's done right and not overdone, and I feel like this was not overdone.
I love the mixture. You know what I mean? I like there to be a mixture.
Even though you can obviously tell there's a lot of CGI in here, it doesn't take away from the movie.
No, it doesn't.
Like you're like, oh well, that's all CGI. They did a really good job of creating this whole world for you. So I really enjoyed that, being able to see the alien vision. They had alien vision. That was pretty cool.
So yeah, I think it's time for the spoilers.
Spoilers.
Which it's been really hard to keep our review pretty neutral because there's so much to talk about in this film. So if you haven't seen it, you need to like leave now.
Just go. We love you, but just go.
Come back after you've seen the movie. Leave us your comments and let us know what you think of the movie. Did you like it? Did you not like it? And we'll see you guys later. But the rest of you guys, stay around and we're going to talk about the spoilers and let's have a conversation about what you guys thought about this actual whole world of the aliens and Prometheus and everything. So, okay, lots of spoilers happening right now.
Lots of spoilers. So what do you
how happy were you guys that James Franco wasn't in the rest of the movie?
What's weird is I
love James Franco.
I love James Franco too.
I was afraid that seeing him around
Freaks and Geeks. Sorry.
I was one of the ones that watched it when it was actually airing, and I tried to beg. I begged people to watch that. Anyway. James Franco, I love him, but I was glad he didn't stick around because he is too known for me to, you know, he just would take away from the film, be like, oh, there's James Franco running from an alien, or, you know, that's what I was afraid was going to happen.
But what's weird is I swear I saw a trailer where it showed more of him in it.
I did too. So yeah, it was nice to see that he got killed off pretty quickly and gruesomely. My goodness, that was like a horrible way to go.
Yeah, it was pretty gnarly.
I felt really bad for his wife. When they got that message, it definitely harkened back to the original Alien when they found that message floating around. There was like a
distress beacon?
Yeah, a distress beacon. Kind of reminded me of that because it was like, oh, what is out there? You know, what else is out there? There's something out there. We got to go see what's going on. Who is that? Who needs us? That kind of a thing.
Yeah.
When they get to that new planet, obviously they make the similar mistakes. Curiosity killed the cat, right? Don't ever poke at or squeeze or step on something that you guys do not know, because if you're in a horror movie, you will die a horrible death.
See, and that's the thing is, they're supposed to be space explorers, but yet they did almost everything wrong, and they went into this planet that they probably shouldn't have been on, and, start touching things that they probably shouldn't touch.
How annoyed were you when the guy started smoking on that planet?
That pissed me off.
I was like, okay, here we are to screw up the ecosystem.
Yeah,
again.
it's like, hey, we need to find a planet, but hold on, let me go smoke my freaking cigarette.
Yeah, that bothered me.
And I think he actually flicked it on the floor, too.
Yeah, and I was like so appalled by that moment.
Yeah,
I'm sure that was social commentary right there, about, just daily life for us.
Well, doesn't matter where we go, we're going to destroy it type thing. It's not the planet, it's us. Which
is probably why David felt so strongly about not having the human race.
Yeah. And, is this too big of a spoiler saying?
No, we're in the spoiler section.
Okay. It kind of blew my mind a little bit when you find out that we created the androids created aliens, right?
Yeah. Because the creatures initially start off as something really,
something really different from what we're used to seeing as the xenomorph.
Right.
But that's the thing. That was in Prometheus. We saw this weird thing and we're just like, that's not an alien. I remember my uncle telling my dad, if you're going to go see Prometheus, don't expect to see any aliens.
There are aliens.
They were aliens. It's just the first stage.
Yeah, the different stage.
The first stage of evolution.
This whole movie was so well written. I mean, the director had to think about every step. And
Ridley Scott is amazing.
Yeah.
I hope there's more to these.
Aliens.
I always call them
initially,
aliens too.
You don't know what's going on, and then you get pieces and pieces, and you're like, oh, I know, I recognize this, I know what this is connected to. Like when the android David and Elizabeth Shaw show up on this planet, they found the planet, they found the creator, and they found the whole race.
And she pointed out something that was interesting when
they get there.
When the creators see the ship, they're all gathering there to greet.
It seems like they're ready
creation.
It seems like they're ready to greet her. It seems like they almost seem peaceful. Mm-hmm. They're amazed by this ship in the sky, and
well, that was their ship, right? Because they sent that ship out.
Oh, true. So maybe they thought that it was one of their original people that was sent out in their own exploration, because there are people in that planet in Prometheus. So that was interesting. Mm-hmm. So when David takes the disease and basically annihilates the creator.
This is Sparta off the freaking
I was just
ship.
Like shocked. And when the crew in this movie first lands, that's what you see is all those bodies.
The aftermath.
Right in front of their home, basically. Mm-hmm. Which at first I was like, what happened here? And
I thought a big fire, but it didn't make sense.
Yeah, I know. It was interesting how they tied it all in. Great job on the flashbacks.
Spiderweb. Real quick. I want to say that Ridley Scott has ingrained this whole thing. He has to have thought about this for the longest time, because we see engineers in Alien. They're in the ship.
Yeah.
It happens in the first movie, so he'd been planning this whole time,
That's why
which is
it's
freaking
such
awesome.
an amazing job writing, directing, everything. It's amazing. It's an amazing piece in the whole Alien
And did
series.
you guys catch the Blade Runner reference? I did.
Yeah, it was
after the fact. I had to watch Blade Runner to catch it.
Toward the end.
It's towards the end, yes.
If you caught it, let us know, and we're going to talk about it later.
Mm-hmm.
What was I saying? So, yeah, they get there, the creator is destroyed, and how depressing is it that Elizabeth trusted her life with David, and David betrays her in such a epic way.
Epic.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, that was really sad for me. I guess that was David's flaw, is that he was less of a robot.
He was able to think for himself.
Less of an android, yeah. He had his feelings, he had thoughts. He had spent personal time with Waylon. That was an interesting piece that they had in there. The whole backstory of David, which you got to see more of his life in Prometheus.
Can we talk about Blade Runner now? Even though
I guess so.
All right, I know Blade Runner is a totally different movie, but it is done by Ridley Scott. And if you watch Blade Runner, because I was watching it because apparently there's a Blade Runner reference, my dad was like, hey, did you catch the Blade Runner blah, 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 blah. Did you catch the Blade Runner reference? And I was like, no. So I watched Blade Runner and I caught it. While rewatching it, I was listening to some of the ambient stuff you hear characters say in the background, and you know that big floating ship with the Asian lady going wah, yeah, you can hear them talk about visiting off-site colonies. So it makes me wonder, are these two worlds connected somehow? Are they? I've never really heard anybody talk about it. She recently said that she heard somebody say that the connection, was it actually Ridley Scott?
I don't remember who it was. I think I just saw, I was scrolling and I saw someone say something about a connection between the two. Could there be? And I didn't look too much into it though.
But yeah, I guess since this is the spoilers, I'm going to go ahead and spoiler the reference. In Blade Runner, Harrison Ford, is it Harrison Ford? No.
It was the two androids.
Well, no, it was the android. I can't remember his name. I'm sorry. Hobo with the shotgun dude. I can't. Oh God, I feel bad.
He's awesome.
Yeah, he is. He's talking to his creator, and he's telling him. I can't remember what he's telling him, but he basically gives him a kiss and then kills him, which is pretty much what David did to Walter. David did to Walter in Alien Covenant. You know, he tells him some stuff. He kisses him, and then he freaking stabs him through the throat with his flute. And
he said you had a choice to make.
Yeah.
Right? Which is interesting.
And forgive me, I know I just watched Blade Runner, and I can't exactly quote exactly what they said. My memory's bad. But yeah. What do you guys think? I really think that these two worlds could be connected. I mean, just because they're both done by Ridley Scott, they both have a similar feel. Similar
films of getting, or themes of getting rid of the creator.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that too. And
obviously Ridley Scott plans far in advance.
Yes. So I mean, just that one comment. Now I think that's the only comment I hear about, you know, off-site colonies. But just that one comment, you know, made me think Alien. You know, like what else could it be? So
it'd be interesting to see what they do in the new Blade Runner. And how those are, and if there are any more connections.
I can't wait for Blade Runner.
Which we saw a trailer for that in this movie. So back to Alien Covenant. David, who is an android, I thought it was interesting that he had grown hair. It had gotten pretty long, and you know, it just was surprising to see him that way. And especially like you were saying earlier, that he came out and he almost looked like a Jedi with his cloak, and how you'd rescued them from the alien.
Yeah, he pops out of nowhere and he's got these flares, scares off the alien, and he just looks all secretly cloaked and stuff. It reminded me of, you know, Obi-Wan coming in and scaring off.
I don't know why. I like half expected him to say, "Come with me if you want to live."
Ah, that would have been good.
I like half expected that.
No, that wouldn't have been good. That would have been good.
Okay, to get back to Alien Covenant, David was living in a really cool
almost
area.
Like a temple.
It seemed like a temple. And when the characters got in there, we got to see more and more what it was like inside. Mm-hmm. There was a lot of interesting artwork, and I guess that told the story of what he was doing the whole time that he was there.
Yeah, he had a bunch of like sketches of different variations of
animals, aliens.
Well, like his creations, really.
His creations, the evolution of what the alien was becoming after each host that he would give it to, right? Mm-hmm. And how the eggs were changing over time. And then we saw the creation of the face hugger.
Not necessarily creation. It was just like the first rendition of the face hugger.
First little bit of the face hugger.
We didn't really get to see it created, but it was kind of there. Yeah. I knew what he was doing when he was leading him back there. I was like, this guy, come on.
I know. Well, he hadn't seen an alien movie, but he should have been suspicious. He was being really, really weird.
Well, it already seemed like he was suspicious of him. He should have.
But then he was like, "Yeah, let me just stick my head over this thing."
Yeah.
Bad decisions.
Yeah, the egg looked awesome. It reminded me of the first time we saw the egg. Awesome. I'm almost curious if they used, because I think they used raw chicken skin over the egg on the original Alien. I wonder if they did that again, or if they actually just.
It'd be cool to see a lot of special effects on the Blu-ray or the DVD release. It would be cool to see that as a special features.
Blu-ray, we don't do DVD.
Okay, whatever.
New movies are Blu-ray. Oh God, hold on. I feel like I got something in my eye. All right. You want to talk about how cute the alien looked when it was a baby?
Go for it.
the alien looked cute when it was a baby. No, seriously, when it came out, I was like, am I the only one in the theater that thinks this thing is cute?
Yeah, probably. You probably were.
Maybe. I mean, if there's other Alien fans out there, I'm pretty sure they thought the same thing.
I liked how the aliens came out differently.
Out the back.
The back was terrifying.
And then one came out the mouth,
the
right?
Mouth was disgusting.
That one was pretty gnarly. That was pretty gnarly.
The different forms of the alien. Early on, it was like more gray, and it kind of like seemed more humanoid. And I thought it was pretty creepy.
That's actually that scene when she's that one chick goes off to do whatever she was doing.
I think she was just cleaning her wounds.
Yeah, and it's just standing there breathing right behind her.
It reminded me of another scene that I've seen in another movie. I just can't think of what movie it was. I feel like I've seen that before, but I was expecting that. Yeah,
well, I'm always expecting the alien to be behind you in a movie like that, but
yeah.
I just thought it was pretty cool how it was just breathing hard, and the way its mouth, you didn't see it, but then it would like come out like it was like all like one piece or something.
Yeah, and the way they moved like in the grass initially kind of reminded me of raptors. Did you like totally think don't go into the long grass?
Yeah, that was pretty funny. No, talking about that scene though right now, I was remembering how I thought it was really cool how the tail would whip around and get people. Like the tail itself had its own mind, and it got that dude in the jaw. And
that jaw was crazy.
That was pretty cool.
I just wish there was a little more light on it so I could have seen a little more of that effect.
Oh, my mind took over, and I was just like, whoa!
Yeah.
No, like it was pretty cool. That scene was really awesome. I was noticing in Aliens, the second one. It seemed like their pulse rifles were able to take out these aliens like nothing, and they were just gone. But this alien seemed to be stronger because they were also using what looked like
our style of weapon.
Yeah, like an AR type rifle, or I think they even had shotguns and stuff, regular, and it seemed to take a lot more hits, and a lot more effort to kill it.
Interesting. It might just show the progression of futuristic weapons in the aliens.
Well, it was a pulse rifle that they were using.
Yeah. Finding out what happened to Elizabeth Shaw.
Yeah, I was a little sad about that.
I felt sad because she had gone through so much in Prometheus. Like, oh gosh.
Yeah, it didn't look like it ended well for her because what was left of her, I think he still had it in his room, right?
Yeah,
was that her
like
lying on a slab or something?
Up. Yeah. Obviously, he gave her the face hugger, and it probably popped out of her too. You didn't get that?
No.
Well, if you were watching the film and you saw the artwork that
I wasn't watching the film.
Well, you were, but it was kind of hard if you weren't really, really like closely
the imagery
paying
on the walls
attention
and
to the posters. She's the main character. She's going through the posters on the table, and you're seeing like pictures of who I believe to be Elizabeth, and then he comes in.
I guess now that you're
reminding
pointing it out,
you? Yeah. He comes in and she's like, basically, like, you betrayed her, you know. And he goes, well, I guess that's what curiosity killed the cat. You came in here and you saw this, you know. This is what happened, yeah. And it was all laid out in the artwork. Basically, his history of creating the evolutions of the xenomorph. So, yeah.
I thought it was funny how David doesn't really, like, he's not going to lie to you. What's interesting is he just kind of, like, he kind of holds the truth away from you for a little bit. Like he brought that dude back there. He wasn't lying about it. He was like, hey, what's going on? Okay, I'll show you.
Yeah.
But, yeah, he showed him.
He did. And I was sad because it was like, she depended on him, and I felt like they had a special relationship in Prometheus. And for it to change so much, so drastically, like...
Well, it makes me kind of wonder, was he always...
He must have always been that way.
Yeah, like, was this his plan the whole time?
I would think so, because he was influenced by Wayland quite a bit.
In case anybody's wondering, Yeah, we're filming this later on because I can tell the lighting is totally different from then and now. It's
Battery life problem.
Yeah.
Oh, so when the alien is like walking around in that area and they're like being hunted by him, and then they get like acid on the. Oh no! Wait, no, that was the face hugger. So the face hugger gets on this guy, and I've never seen a face hugger be removed from someone once they've gotten them, which I was surprised to see that he actually removed him.
Well, he did cut, like in the other movies, they do cut it and then acid jumps out and they know we can't remove it. Even Bishop says, it'll kill the host once you remove it.
Yeah.
But, yeah, he seemed to remove it with ease. The guy was a big guy, and it looked like he wrestled it.
Yeah.
It looked like he cut it and like just.
I mean, it was the initial jump on.
Yeah, he caught it pretty quick. It wasn't like it wasn't like it nested on him,
Yeah, it did though.
Well, it did. It got him.
It did, yeah, because the alien was on the ship after.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh, so much happened.
Talking about it makes it like you can remember everything that happened, and then like even you can like review like, oh, this is what happened. Oh yeah. But that's why I like talking about it too.
Yeah. No, so much happened in the second half of the movie. The first half kind of sets up everything, and then it just boom, all those dominoes start falling.
He did get nested. But I thought it was interesting that once he pulled him off, the acid came out and it burned his face. I was surprised that they had like a salve that they could just shove on his face and like neutralize it.
Yeah, like they were
prepared for it almost.
Yeah. No, it did look like they were pretty prepared for that.
Yeah. So I was surprised because I was like, oh, they never did that in the future movies. Like they never bust out a salve to put on someone or put on like the ship when the ship was being eaten away. Like there wasn't like a special anything to neutralize anything of the acid. Did they do that
on the ship too?
I don't remember them doing that. I just feel like they would have if they did.
You're making stuff up now.
No, I'm saying they should have if it was in the future. Yeah. And I might be wrong. I mean, we are big fans of Alien, but we don't remember everything.
Yeah. And I mean, in Aliens, when Gordon gets acid on him because Hicks is blowing that alien out the door, they don't really do anything to it other than wrap it in gauze.
Yeah, and it doesn't neutralize it, right?
Yeah, no, it was just like, it was gauze. And I understand it was a long time ago,
But it's supposed to be future.
Yeah.
So they shouldn't have included it in this one.
If anything, he should have been wrapped with gauze.
or being slowly, horribly eaten away at.
Yeah.
That would have
been pretty cool.
I would have been fine with that too.
I mean, that's a nitpicky thing, I guess.
Yeah, it's just a random thought.
I thought the same thing too. It's like, well, they were pretty prepared for that.
What else do we want to talk about? It was a decent ending.
Yeah. My immediate thought after seeing what happens at the end was, okay, so how do we get the queen?
Yeah.
Because in Aliens, she's a big reason why there's so many of those eggs. She started nesting there and laying all these eggs. So where does the queen come from? So I'm wondering if they're going to do a movie talking about how the queen comes around, because that would be interesting to me.
When the androids battle it out and we don't know which one gets on the ship, it's kind of like not a big surprise when it is David, because it's like, well, we need another conflict. Obviously, this report of what happened didn't get back because there's no mention of it in the future Alien films. They don't know what happened to the crew. There's like no report of it, okay? I mean, obviously, two characters and the people that are in hypersleep and the embryos are on the ship at the end of the movie, but the captain, Daniels, she didn't test Walter or David until she was in the hypersleep chamber. I mean, that would be the first thing I did because these fools look exactly the same.
Well, it seemed like she was kind of leery of it too.
She did seem like she was leery, but then she didn't like even bother to test it until she was already in a vulnerable position. And I felt like she was smarter than that, especially she was smart enough to know not to land on this planet. It wasn't part of the plan. She spoke up. Obviously, she's an epic person.
Yeah, she's pretty badass.
But for her to not question David until like the last minute, I don't know, that felt kind of dumb for her. Because she was already in.
They got it.
I know they gotta set it up, but I was just like, is she really that dumb? Like, really? That bothered me. But I did like the way that her heartbeat was monitored, and you can see her realization in her heartbeat.
Yeah,
Obviously,
that was pretty cool.
She's getting scared. Tennessee was lucky because he got to go to sleep thinking all was good. Poor Captain Daniels, she was like, oh God, what did I do?
It's got to be a horrible dream.
And then for
7 years and something months that they're going to be in hypersleep.
Well, yeah, and I don't know if there's a next movie, which obviously there should be.
Well, there better be. Ridley, there better be.
I wonder if it's going to take off where it left off, or if it's just going to go to David introducing the alien into a different situation, or because, I mean, he's going to have a colony mission. He's on a colony mission. I wonder if they're going to go to the new planet that they're planning on.
It seems like that place is destined for Orgai 6. Is it what?
Yeah.
Orgai 6?
I wonder if that's kind of like, because in Aliens, weren't they at another planet too? Wasn't there a colony on another planet?
Yeah, what was the planet? I guess
I can't remember what it's called, but I wonder if it's going to be something like that where they are there and then the aliens start coming out, and it could be more of an action, but I don't know. There's a lot of really cool stuff that could happen in the next few films. It was a good addition to the films, the film family, I guess. It'll be nice to see where it goes. It'll be nice to see if David's in the next one. What happens to Captain Daniels? Overall, we thought it was a great film, and we would like to hear what you guys thought about all of the connections.
Yeah, let us know in the comments.
Were there other things that we missed? Let's have a conversation about it. And if you did come back and watch it, this spoiler section after you've watched the movie, what did you think? And don't forget to comment and subscribe, and we'll see you guys later.